morning, children. Welcome to Magical Fairy Tale Storytime. Today's storybook is written by Princess Mary Shelley from the Kingdom of Geneva. Her story is Frankenstein. What a neat name. Everyone grab your storybooks and a cup of hot cocoa and let's get started. I know princesses have lots of engagements, so we're going to do the quick version of this story. Once upon a time, Ralph Walton, he's our protagonist. That's like the prince of the story. He's writing lovely letters to his sister, Margaret Seville. Like all great storybook heroes, Walton says he wants to make a great discovery by venturing out to the North Pole. A few months later, Ralph's crew encounters Victor Frankenstein, a sickly and pale man also stranded by the ice. Like any good hero, Ralph helps nurse Victor back to health through the magical bond of friendship. They discover they have so much in common. That is so sweet. It turns out that Victor and Ralph both ruthlessly pursued knowledge, and Victor, he has his own magical story time where he tells his tale of tragic woe and how he created a monster who ruined his life. No, that doesn't really sound like a happy ever after, but don't worry, children, I'm sure it'll be fine. Victor grew up in Geneva and had a happy childhood. When Victor's mom died suddenly and Victor became obsessed with natural philosophy and the acquirement of knowledge, transmitting over the elemental foes of our human race. Victor becomes increasingly isolated from society and much more arrogant and deluded with his research, using old body parts, and the knowledge he gained from his professors at university. He creates a hideous creature and was later horrified at what he had done. In a very ungentlemanly way, Victor shuns the creature he made and travels back to Geneva, where he stays with his family and revels in the beauty of nature, just like a princesses do in fairy gardens and enchanted forests. Meanwhile, the creature is left on his own and shunned by all who meet him. The creature murders Victor's brother, William, but then begs forgiveness and understanding for committing the murder. The creature convinces Victor to create another creature, a female. This is perfect. Nothing is more powerful than true love's first kiss. I'm just sure we're headed for a happily ever after now. But Victor begins to realize the implications of what he will create and destroys the female creature, angering the original and thus setting into motion the deaths of Victor's loved ones. Victor vows revenge on the creature and chases after it through the North Pole, which takes us to Victor's tale to the present where he is talking to Walton. After Victor's death, Walton discovers the creature sobbing over Victor's corpse as the monster ends the tale with, But soon I shall die, I shall ascend my funeral pyre triumphantly, and exalt in the agony of torturing flames, my spirit will sleep in peace. Farewell. This is how it... What kind of story is this? Princess Mary Shelley is not kind at all. She seems more like a wicked witch if you ask me. I am not pleased about this, but we've come this far, so we might as well do some analysis. Okay, so the themes of Frankenstein include the beauty of nature. This is part of what makes the word romantic. I just recently learned that romantic doesn't always mean when your prince dances with you for the first time or finds your glass slipper, but with a big R, it can mean an awful literary genre that is dark and full of emotion. Anyways, we see the importance of nature in romantic work, especially Frankenstein. This is why everything starts going wrong. Victor retreats into nature. Throughout the work, the weather and nature relates to the mood, which is much like natural fairies can manipulate the weather according to their moods. For example, the monster is hopeless and alone in the winter, but finds some relief in the summer. Similarly, at the end of the story, the characters are in a bleak, cold, desolate landscape because Mary Shelley apparently hates happy ever afters. Also, throughout the book, we can see problems arise that when man arrogantly thinks he can conquer nature, whether it be defying the laws of death, as Victor Frankenstein does by creating the monster, or traveling to dangerous waters, as Walton does. Here, the flaws and hubris of humans are made clear as the story unfolds, and it is made clear that it's really human society that is monstrous. That reminds me of Princess Mary Shelley, who was very monstrous when she wrote such a sad story for this magical storytime hour. Hopefully next storytime hour will be more uplifting. We'll be reading The Awakening, which I'm pretty sure is about Sleeping Beauty. I leave you with this question. What is the point of what Mary Shelley wrote? Why would she make it such a not happy ending?